Never, ever, ever, ever make these mistakes when trying to cut your hair at home, okay? And this is something that hopefully you guys can, get some advice from and take this advice, because I've seen some complete crime scenes when people attempt to cut their hair at home. I've actually had to become a hair detective and go on scene to fix the victim's hair, right? To fix someone's hair that they completely massacred. And I'm gonna go over how to prevent these things from happening today. So you saw in the thumbnail, this is a box cutter. Don't cut your hair with although I could probably try it, may be kind of fun, but don't ever try to cut your hair with anything other than a professional type of hair tool. The kitchen scissors, something like this, a shaving razor. You just have to be very, very, very careful when trying to do haircuts and do all these techniques without having the right tools. You could potentially hurt yourself. Whatever it is, we use professional tools for a reason, because we're looking for the best results we can get. When it comes to buying your own clippers, when it comes to buying scissors, when it comes to buying brushes, combs, I sell pretty much everything you need on my website, from hair cutting combs to hair clips to actual scissors, to the blow dryer. And I think I approve them because they're mine, okay? So I'm using them on a regular daily basis. The scissors I have are very, very affordable. They're professional grade scissors. They are what I use to cut hair. If I'm charging someone hundreds of dollars to cut their hair, I'm using my scissors, the ones that I sell on my website, okay? So make sure that you use professional tools when you are cutting your hair, because if you're taking it on to cut your hair yourself, obviously you don't want to go to a salon, right? Or a barber shop, whatever it is. So you need to invest in the right types of tools. That's the first thing, is do not use a chainsaw, do not use a torch, do not use any of that stuff, okay? All right? Now, the second biggest thing and mistake to avoid is trying to create a haircut on yourself that you don't have the right hair texture for or the right hair length for. For example, this is the TikToker hairstyle, which everybody knows, not everybody loves, but this has become kind of the viral haircut. I've become somewhat viral from this haircut and seeing on my tutorials. This mannequin's been on the news. So if you are somebody who's got extremely curly, wiry, frizzy, super dry hair, chances are this is going to be very, very, very difficult to achieve this type of look. Another example, you want that silky smooth, undercut, and you want to lay perfectly flat. You want your hair to be silky, shiny. If you've got very dry, coarse, very, very kinky, curly, frizzy hair, again, you can achieve this by getting a chemical process or making the effort of blow drying your hair, once a week and washing it once a week to make sure it stays, but it's a very, very daunting process. You're not going to have the easiest time trying to achieve hairstyles that you simply don't have the right hair texture for. And my advice to you is, if you have a certain look in mind, and if you're trying to cut your hair yourself, maybe go in one time to get it cut by somebody or ask them for their opinion, saying, do I have the right hair texture for this? But also, you can do this yourself. I call it self-analyzing, okay? You're self-analyzing what you have here, and then look at the photographs or look at the pictures of hairstyles that you like and just compare. Maybe experiment. Watch a bunch of my tutorials and try to get this type of hairstyle. Use the round brush, use my blow dryer, use the tidal wave, flip it back, do all sorts of stuff to try to get this type of look. And if your hair is having a very difficult time, chances are you probably don't have the right hair texture. So do not try to attempt a hairstyle or cut it yourself to something you just don't have. Because if you have super curly hair and you try to cut your hair to here, it's not gonna look great, okay? So don't get a haircut or give yourself a haircut if you don't have the right hair texture. The next thing is, do not cut your hair too short. Now, there's been times, and here, this is gonna be kind of the hair detective story, where I had somebody, He had hair similar to this, right? Like a hair length like this on the sides, maybe a little bit shorter. And he took the clippers to his head, and all of a sudden, the side of his head ended up looking like this, okay? And he freaked out. He went up to about right here. He didn't have any guard on it, or he used, I think, like a number 1 guard, and he was like, I get the text message, the phone call, Steven, 911 hair emergency. I have a hair emergency. I need your help. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, it's a disaster. I need you. Can I come in? I was like, all right, come in at this time. He came in, and basically, it was like my length of hair up to about right here, and then he left all this. So he basically had have a big meeting. Steven, help me, please help me. So I said, what can I do? So what I suggested to him was, I said, you may want to get makeup, right? Maybe talk to your wife and ask her for some like cover up or some sort of makeup to actually fill in the void on that area, okay? And you have no other option, because you're not going to want to shave your head bald or skin from here all the way around. So I said, your only option is literally to try to cover it up with some makeup or some touch up. Maybe cut this all a little bit shorter here just to kind of make it blend a little bit better. Okay, you have to go a little shorter than usual. Maybe do like a 2, okay, and make this part a little bit shorter, but maybe get some foundation or some sort of cover up or something to put here that's a color that matches your hair. He did it. It worked, okay? He thanked me. Sometimes you don't have to necessarily have to cut it to fix it, but be careful when you're using clippers, okay, that you have the right length guard. Remember, the lower the number, the shorter the haircut's gonna be. A number 1 is pretty short. If you have no guard, which is like a 0, 000, it's gonna be like this, okay? It's pretty short. So make sure if you're having any doubts, right, you're not sure how short it's gonna be, always go longer on the guards. Now, if you know you want a skin fade and you want a super tight haircut, then yeah, you know you have to go a little bit shorter. But even then, maybe try doing like a 1 instead of a 0, or just because that's gonna give you that barrier of like, because once you cut it off, that's it. Once your hair's too short, good luck. You have to wait weeks and weeks for it to grow back, okay? So never, never, ever cut your hair too short, all right? The next thing also when it comes to hair cutting, even on a haircut like this, for example, never ever comb your hair straight down and just cut it straight across. For example, you say, oh, I want my hair to be about right here. You comb it all the way down and you cut it straight across. What happens is that hair, for as long as it is here, travels back this way. So if you cut the hair right here, that means all the hair in the very front is that long. Everything else on top of it's going to be longer. So if you're trying to brush your hair back, you're trying to get lift, you're trying to get volume, whatever it is, and the front just keeps falling straight down, or it's not even moving because it's so short and you've got maybe a low hairline or a widow's peak or something, you basically cut it so short that you have no other option. You have to let it grow out. So always leave the hair longer in the front. This very, very base, the foundation, always leave it longer so that this can travel up and travel back so you're getting the proper hairstyle and haircut, okay? If you cut it too short, once again, then you are going to have issues, okay? And then lastly, my last bit, most important bit of advice is if you're attempting to cut your hair yourself, please do not attempt to do a super advanced, really, really technical type of haircut, AKA like a super angled bob, like a very precision type of angled bob haircut, some really short, feathered, flowing layers, things that are a skin fade, unless you know how to do it, things that are a bit more advanced. That's why you need to go to a professional. And I understand that you've gone to the professional and they completely butchered you and it was a nightmare, and I get that, okay? And I get so many people who actually comment on how they watch my tutorials, like, oh, my husband cuts my hair watching your tutorials. I'm like, really? That's amazing. Or, the wife cuts the husband's hair or vice versa. I love that. Watch my videos. It can be very, very helpful. But again, I'm a professional that's been doing this for so long. It took me years and years and years to perfect cutting hair, right? And I'm like decent at cutting hair, right? And so just please understand that if you're trying something very, very advanced, it may not come out the same way I might be doing it or another professional. Just be careful, all right? If you are interested in purchasing any of the tools that I suggested that you need, scissors, blow dryer, combs, clips, any of that stuff, use code YouTube20. It's an exclusive code here on YouTube. That's YouTube20 at shop.thesalonguy.com. And thanks so much. Let me know if you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments below. I love the fact that you guys are leaving so many comments. Let me know if you've had a hair disaster, a hair crime scene in the bathroom, in the sink, all right? I love to know. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.